We on the island. Got my man Jesstin Devoe, West End Shout, whatever you know him as. We got my man Jesstin Devoe in the building. Well, he's not in the building. He's on the island. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here, man. Appreciate you. Give me a little bit of your time, bro. And we, you probably only like a block away. You feel me? But hey, it's COVID time, so things got to be distanced. That's how they making us. But yeah, man, welcome. Glad to have you, bro. So, as you know, well, as you may or may not know by now, depending on when I drop this, we start off every episode, same question, man. I'm gonna ask you that question, even though I might know. When's the last time you took a jump shot? Thursday. My man said he just did it. That's like the second person I feel like that said they just shot some shots. Hey, don't none of y'all want me. That's all I know. You feel me? That's all I know. I'm gonna let every guest know. Shoot, they don't want me right now. Well, shoot, I don't want me right now. So it's a little stiff. You feel me? But Thursday, nice. I'm gonna start making a list or something, just what everybody's answers is, and see how it looks, how everybody looks. So yeah, man, I'll just start off. We'll take it back to when we met, man. That's how I like to start too. So I first met Jesstin in had to be 2010 because that's when my family came here. Maybe it was the summer of 2010, but 2010 for sure, probably. When I moved here to Louisville, shout out Louisville. I'll tell you this too. I don't know. We talked a whole lot, man. If y'all don't know, Shaw is like one of my closest guys, so we know a lot, but we're still going to chat about it. I feel like before I came, well, not even before I came. I'll tell you how recent it was. It was as soon as I got to like that church picnic, I feel like that was when I feel like I really knew the news that like, all right, yeah, this guy right here, he likes to hoop. He's the hooper around here. Boom, boom, whatever. And I remember we played in the church picnic. We played at the little game or whatever. I don't even know what the size was. I feel like Tiz was there too. No, I feel like you came with somebody else to hoop too. And whoever they was, they hacked me. But that's beyond me. But what do you remember back then, man? 2010, like, do you remember anything? I remember, like I said, I was told you were the hooper. And when we played, it was real competitive. Like, I could tell you was, like, trying to go at me. So, like, you remember anything back then? You remember what I'm talking about at all? It's an early church picnic when I was there.
Yeah, it was a little while back.
Years now. Decade now.
I do remember the church picnic, but yeah, I vaguely remember too much about it. I couldn't even tell you. I think it was a little minute ago.
I'll let you know I gave you a bucket up here. I remember that.
Probably.
I was back in the days, man. Let's see. So, yeah, man, I guess I'll just ask you one of my other first questions, man. Just when did you start taking ball seriously? Like you felt like this was like going to be your dream. This was your thing.
It was lifelong, I guess. I was like 6, I guess. I started really hooping for real.
Playing in the neighborhood type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we played in the hood or whatnot, but I mean, my brother played as well, and it's more so kind of like a following the footsteps type of thing. But yeah, I was pretty young when I got involved with it. I got uncles and stuff that that played, and I got an uncle that played like in Mexico, like semi-pro and shit like that. I didn't see a lot of him growing up. He lived in like Pennsylvania and shit. Like he tried out for like the Sixers and shit like that. So like I didn't see a lot of him when I was younger. But I had some like local like people here that like kind of like stayed on me once they seen that I did have like some sort of talent when it came to it. So I mean, yeah, I started pretty young though. Like I said, about like 6. I started before 6, but 6 is probably around the time when I really was like falling for it. It was 6 would put it at 96, which is
that's about that time.
You know, so that's when I started to really watch and follow and develop favorite players and shit like that. Like I didn't really grow up on Jordan and shit like that. Like,
so yeah, who were some of your favorite players? Like once you started
Jordan
deciding,
for
like,
sure
this
is
is my
definitely
guy.
a favorite player. You know, the GOAT. Jordan's definitely a favorite player. But I mean, I grew up an AI fan. I had braids and shit because of AI. Big Kobe fan, a big Shaq fan. I didn't like the Lakers, but I like those two guys. Big T-Mac fan.
Yeah.
So
T-Mac
that was
was
pretty
another
much of the
T-Mac.
generation. You know, Ray Allen and those type of guys. He got game and shit like that. That was like the culture at the time that really kind of like, I guess, like pushed towards like the hoops.
Yeah, it was an exciting time, bro. It was. I feel like just about every one of them players had games. It feel like it was every night, almost like every other night. You feel like you about to see T-Mac play against the Bucks. You know, you'll see Steve Francis even back in them days. He was one that I messed with on the side. Like he
I
was
like
with his
Steve
game and
Francis a lot
stuff
when he was in Maryland.
in the league.
I don't know why, but I followed him a lot when he was in Maryland, and Juan Dixon a little bit. Once Steve Francis left, Juan Dixon was like the next big name as far as a guard goes at Maryland. So, but yeah, I fucked with Steve a little bit as well.
Who do you think like influenced your game? Like who do you like? I know you had your favorite players, and then you got players that like you like. Oh, okay, yeah, this is a move that I feel like I could take. This is a move I feel like I could do. Oh, I like this. His thinking right here. What you think? Who are some of those people?
Nobody, honestly. When you look at guys and you get inspiration or whatnot, you want to practice moves and all that type of shit. But my game was my game. It wasn't really like I didn't have a nasty crossover like AI. I didn't have a crazy jumper like Ray Allen and like that. It was all just like a bunch of shit that I could do. I could do a little bit of everything, but I wasn't super nice. I had to just kind of like work at all that type of shit. So it was really just like my game essentially. Like, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I pat my game after like anybody or anything like that. I watched a lot of college basketball growing up as well, so a lot of my influences come from college as well. I mean, Louisville was more so a college town, more so than anything. So, big Cardinals fan, and I watched a lot of Cardinal basketball and just college basketball in general. But I don't think I necessarily
Had anybody like influence that?
Even like to now, like I don't really think I hear anybody compare my game to anybody, which is perfectly fine. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I guess I wasn't didn't stick out enough, I guess, to get.
Yeah,
compared.
I feel like and you talk about college towns and stuff, and that's what we should jump into next. Then, like, I know y'all a college town. Like, me, I grew up in Detroit. We had the Pistons, of course, so we had that NBA influence too. Like, a lot of people were like NBA fans, and then you had college fans too. Me, I know I gravitated more towards NBA just because the college level, I felt like I was always trying to hoop with them. So like, or I didn't take the time out to really always watch. Like the big names of the NBA was what gravitated me. So like, I know around here, once I moved here, I learned like just how much like college town can be, man. Like, who are some of those? Who are some of the Cardinals you feel like that just stand out in your mind in your time of watching?
There's a few. I mean, Reese Gaines for sure. I think Reese Gaines is from like. I'm not even gonna start going into all that. I don't really know. I think Reese Gaines is like maybe from like Milwaukee or some shit like that, maybe. Larry O'Bannon, he's local. He went to Male High School. Guys like Taekwon Dean, Francisco Garcia. Those are like big for me at that time. They went to the Final Four and shit. And one of the bigger games was in the Elite Eight. Way back then, we played West Virginia. We were down like, I don't even know, bro. We were down like 16, 18. Like we was getting hit. And they came all the way back and beat them. They went to the Final Four. We ended up losing the Final Four to Illinois. That was a team with D. Brown, Darren Williams, Luka Head, all those guys. Yeah. But that team, Preston Knowles, he's not from Louisville, but he's from Kentucky. Preston Knowles is a big one. Obviously the championship team, Peyton Siva, Russ Smith, Shane Bohannon, Jane, Montrezl Harrell, Wayne Blackshear. Historic coaching as well. Denny Crum is one of the more historic college basketball coaches. He came from UCLA up under who's the guy? The big UCLA guy. Coach Lou Alcindor and them.
I don't know. That guy. I know you're talking about now, but I don't know.
Yeah, the great coach, the Wooden, ain't that his name, or is his name
Wooden? Yeah. Yeah.
Do that research or whatever. But him, and then you got guys that followed up with like Patino, shit like that. So it was just always, it felt like it was always good ball being played here in the city. I know I'm missing a couple of guys. My mind isn't really where it needs to be right now, is to take the trip down memory lane like that. But yeah, it's a few guys that I'm probably not mentioning and whatnot. But yeah, it was definitely those guys for sure. That Nate Johnson as well. Nate Johnson's a big one. I actually played with Nate Johnson probably 2 years ago out at Stamina with DA, Derek Anderson, all those guys. And I mean, those guys. I mean, Derek Anderson, he went to Kentucky, but he's from here. But he's like a legend as well. But I think he actually went to Ohio State first and then transferred Ohio State to Kentucky. But I played with Nate Johnson and Derek Anderson. Like, we was in the little league and everything together. But those guys are still like certified. Like I mean, DA's a little bit on the older side. He's a little bit more, gingerly. Like, he moves a little slower. He's not as explosive as he was to be expected. But I mean, just being able to pick those guys' minds and see just how they make the game like super, super easy to get a bucket, or to see it play 2 or 3 plays ahead or something like that. Stuff like that. But for sure, Nate Johnson is one of them for sure. He's not from here, but I think he's still here though. To my knowledge, I think he's still here. DeJuan Wheat.
DeJuan Wheat.
I think DeJuan Wheat is from here, if I'm not mistaken. I think he went to Ballard. Alvin Sims. I'm sorry, now it's kind of starting to.
This nigga's a rapper.
Alvin Sims isn't from here either. But a lot of these guys aren't from here. But a lot of these guys I just watched growing up. Like, I watched a lot of like Nate Johnson. Like, my brother and I would kind of do like this little role playing shit where like we would kind of be like play against like ghost players or whatnot, and the we were hanging up over the little joint. And it was always like Big Bro would always be like either like DeJuan Wheat or some shit because he was like the best on the team. You always be like DeJuan Wheat, and I would always either be like Alvin Sims because he was like a high flyer, or like Nate Johnson because Nate Johnson was just like a 6'8", smooth bucket type of guy, bro. You feel me? So it definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like, going down memory lane a little bit definitely brings that back a little bit.
So you got them reminders. Respect. So let's go to high school, man. High school, the Wagner Wildcats.
Yes, sir.
What was like the atmosphere of the school? Because like again, I'll tell you my story a little bit. My school was around my time. It was more of a football school. You know, like everybody that was on the football team ended up being on the basketball team. You feel me? Like I was the only person for the most part. There were some younger dudes, but I was the only person for the most part that really focused on hooping, and like that was like supposed to be my A sport, you know. So like, and I was one of the only people to go to college out of my school from, for basketball. Like didn't nobody care about it for real. Even when I did my thing, nobody really cared at the time. And they probably still don't. I'm an OG now, but like, what was the atmosphere at your school? Like, what was y'all's thing at the WAG?
I came in as a freshman, like 20, like what was that, 04 or whatnot, and it was new. Obviously, it was high school or whatnot, but I mean, it was cracking. Like it was one of those schools that was kind of frowned upon. But I mean, I went there solely because it was my home school.
Yeah,
and
like pipeline type thing. Like a pipeline type school. Like you go to this middle school.
I mean, I probably could have went to different schools or whatnot, but I would have had to apply and all of that type of shit. And just keeping it a buck, I didn't really have those type of parents that was really like on that type of stuff. It was just like, that's your home school, that's where you're going.
Yeah.
So I went or whatnot. It was an eye opener. It was just different, man. Like coming in, I played a little bit in middle school. I played elementary, 4th and 5th grade, 6th grade, and 7th grade. I played AAU, so I didn't play middle school basketball at all until 8th grade. And then I started playing middle school basketball. Man, honestly, it was cool, but I didn't know how much I liked it like that because it wasn't as free as AAU. You feel me? Like I had to like do stuff to like be able to play. AAU was really just like pay your bread and you get to play type of thing.
Yeah.
So it was a little different, not to say like I was like this rebel and then like that. Like I had good grades and stuff like that for the most part, but it just like kind of took the fun away from basketball to a certain extent because I felt like I was like structured, doing way more than I had to do to play ball type of thing. So once I played 8th grade, like 4 games, I got kicked off the team because I could not keep my math grade up. Yeah, I suck at math for all y'all know. That is, math is like an intimidating subject for me. I may just be 1,000 about it. It's not my strong suit. And she was like not showing no love. Like I couldn't get like no like additional work. Couldn't like get a tutor. And I could have got a tutor outside of school, but she wasn't offering nigga no additional help, bro. It didn't help that I probably wasn't the best student behavior-wise in the class, but it was because, I don't get what the fuck is going on in there. You know what I'm saying? So, but I came into Wagner. I don't think anybody knew about me, to be honest. I mean, niggas from the hood, because like I said, I grew up on 32nd, and literally pretty much everybody from 32nd went to Wagner, unless obviously you used another address and, caught a different bus or whatever, but, at what he was on. So niggas from the hood knew, you hoop in the alleys and stuff like that, and all that type of stuff around the hood, 31st, 33rd and shit like that. It was a little church up on 34th called Temple we used to go to and hoop outside and shit. But outside of that, it was like, but once I got there, like I said, it was cool. My brother had kind of gassed me up a little bit because my brother knew the talent that I had or whatnot, and he was telling me all these like crazy shit like, you're gonna come in, bro, you're gonna dominate, bro, you probably gonna start this, that, and the third. And I'm like, believing that shit, like, I'm right for these niggas then, bet 1, 2, and 3. I mean, that's always been a dream of mine, was to play college basketball. Like, the NBA was always a goal, of course, like for any nigga, but like, to me, it was like, it may sound a little ignorant or stupid, but at the time, like, I was always going to school. Like, even if it was like, you can go, it was like, I'm going to school. I don't know what it was. I wanted to play college basketball. I wanted to play in those arenas with those crowds, with those chants, those bands, all that type of shit. I wanted to play with all that type of shit. And it felt more authentic at times than NBA basketball. I felt like they was really playing for something.
Yeah.
But I came in, bro, and it was cool. I got a rude awakening very fast. I came in, and like I said, I had talent. Decent height on me. I wasn't really too tall. I mean, I think I grew since I left school. But like I said, I could do a little bit of everything. More so driving, going right, and mid range. That was like niggas would call me like Rip sometimes, like Rip Hamilton type thing, because I had the braids, I had the mid range game, and I never got tired, bro. Like I could like run off picks and do everything, bro, and just never get tired. So I remember coming in, bro, and like going through conditioning and shit like that, which was new. We didn't condition in in middle school, we didn't condition AAU. I mean, I started running sprints, but this was like having time miles, and we're doing a whole bunch of other crazy shit, and then we're going to the weight room, bro. Like I had never even lifted weights, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a bunch of different shit that kind of like not really hindered my game, but it caused me to like not necessarily blossom late, but like it was more so like I came in knowing what I could do, but like once all that shit got put on me, it was like I had to adjust to that shit before my game started to show type of thing. But I would have flat, so like niggas knew. But like it was like a little time where like we had like back then we were doing like intra-squad scrimmages and shit like that. And that's when it kind of hit me that it was a little different, you know what I'm saying? Like I had checked a few guys, and yeah, bro, like it was a dude on the squad, man. Well, first off, niggas thought Wagner was weak. I'm gonna just say that. Niggas thought Wagner, we was weak. We were weak as far as whatever the fuck you want to call it, bro. It was one of those situations where you got all the talent, but like, leadership or whatever, bro. Like when I came in, bro, we had so many guys, bro. Like the team we had so many guys as far as numbers, but we had so much talent on that team that it was like we had guys coming from football and everything, bro. And it's just like to see us like win 9 games type shit is like this type of thing, bro. You feel me? But like we had inter-squad scrimmages and shit like that, bro, my freshman year, and that's when it kind of hit me, and that's when it kind of like turned on for me, because I mean that's when I played against a couple of guys and I actually got like, I mean like crossed up type shit. You feel me? Like legit, like he went that way, I went that way type shit. Like type shit.
Yeah, some real wake ups.
And I had like niggas like hit me with like combo moves and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I always prided myself on D, and I've always had great D. Pause. But it was just different, bro. Like I'm talking about, like I wasn't used to like some of the shit I was getting hit with, like in and out crosses, or a nigga like in and out, then cross. Like, you know, usually it's like the first in and out, and then we gonna go from there. But it would be like in and out cross. Guys were like faster than me, quicker than me, you know, stronger than me type shit. So it was a rude awakening, bro. But I had these competitive juices, bro. And to be completely honest, I knew all along that I was better than those guys. It was going to take me a little work to get, you know what I'm saying, where I wanted to be type of thing, bro. But I would say, yeah, bro, definitely those inter-squad scrimmages was like my opener for sure, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, at least it happened early. Shoot, coming into high school, what it was gonna be like for me, like I was at the bottom. I had a little bit of a name because middle school it was like pipeline the same way as yours, so it was a little bit going on, and my dad was always around, so it was kind of like, oh, you know, we know Mr. Macon is your son. Oh, now we know your son. Oh, he ain't bad. I mean, you know, and I was small, bro, so that was all a part of it, man. I never grew like width-wise, pause. Like, you know, I didn't get like bigger or anything during high school, so I didn't lift weights all during high school. Maybe once or twice during sometimes, but all that was brand new to me too. So I definitely get that. So you say freshman year, you come in, you get your eyes open. As far as from freshman year on, like You know, you come back your 10th grade year, you come back your junior year. How is the confidence? How are you feeling each year?
Progression was what it should have been. I got better each year. I've always been, when it came to hoops, I've always been a kind of self-motivated, or I've always embraced the grind. Like, it's never been something I've always shied away from. Like, I had an uncle, like one of my uncles I was referring to earlier, he actually lived on 38, still lives on 38. He got a rim in his backyard, a little black top. It's probably like, I would say maybe top of the key type of thing. Width-wise, it'll probably maybe get you to the wings, maybe type of thing. You probably got to step back into the grass if you want to create your range type shit. But like clockwork, bro, literally school let out. Like once the summer hit, school let out. Like I spent my summers at his crib. You know what I mean? Like outside of summer workouts, summer league and shit like that. Like I was at my uncle's crib. Like, and he worked with me a lot too on like different shit that he noticed I struggled with. At one point in time, I struggled going right, pulling up right. I couldn't, for some reason, it felt weird to dribble with my right hand and pull up with my right hand. It felt weird. It was always comfortable to come off the left with it. But he was one of those guys that just stick with me as far as like fundamentals and shit like that. And like it started to hit me that like obviously you need like a foundation, your fundamentals to be able to branch off and do anything as far as like all of that creative skill type of shit. Like you got to have some sort of foundation. You can't come out in and out a nigga and not know how to basically do basketball. You understand what I'm saying? So just different like that he would work on me with, bro, with just like shooting and shit like that. But I would go so hard in the summers, bro, that I would come back each year and I was better each year. So freshman year I came in, I played freshman, I played JV, and I pretty much dressed varsity. I played in maybe like a handful of games my freshman year, varsity, like 5-6 games type shit, you know, like mop up time, or, you know, a nigga might be a breather type shit, you know what I'm saying? I had an issue with that shit because I felt like my freshman, I felt like the coach didn't trust me as much as I felt that he could have trusted me, but, you know, that's water under the bridge or whatnot. But like sophomore year, I came back and it was JV and varsity. And then junior year was just straight varsity or whatnot. Junior year on out was straight varsity. And I began starting as a junior. Because of how it happened, like I ended up taking a senior spot on the team. One of my good friends, bro, H Deuce. You probably won't get to interview H Deuce, but if you do catch one of this, my nigga H Deuce, Larry Hall. Yeah, I ended up taking my nigga's spot in the starting lineup, and from there it was history. Like I never gave it back. Like once I got it, it was like we're gonna go back and see how this works. Like nah, it was. I just felt like I was way more versatile. H2O was for the most. He was a shooter. He was a guy who he didn't need a lot of room, didn't need to dribble, but he would touch cotton. You know what I mean? Like just straight cotton. You know what I mean? But it was just like I said, like I felt like I was more versatile, like defense, being able to put the ball on the floor, just different shit like that, bro. So I think me being a little bit more versatile, a lot more versatile, to be completely honest. Me being a lot more versatile and still being able to do what he could do, you know, kind of freed me up or whatnot. But with that just like I've always had confidence or whatnot. But with that was because to be completely honest, like when it came out, like when the season first started, like I didn't start the first like 2-3 games my junior year or whatnot, and it was one of those things where I didn't say anything, but it was one of those things where it was in my head, just kind of thinking like, what's going on? You know, like I don't get it, you know what I'm saying? But it was no hate or anything like it. It wasn't like, all right, this nigga, because it could have been this nigga, or it could have been any nigga that I chose that I felt like I was better than or whatnot. But it was just like, you know, one of those things where I was like, all right, bet. When I do get opportunities, I'm gonna just come in and do my thing. And yeah, I don't even remember the situation. I feel like my nigga might have got suspended or something like that. Might have got suspended or something for the team or something for like might have had to miss a game or something like that. Started me, and in that start, I hit like 4 threes that game. I had like 16 that game, like 16, 17 that game. It was like efficient too. Yeah, I mean, like that's always been something that I've prided myself on as well. It's like efficient. I am a volume shooter, but I hit majority of my volume shots, I feel like. But I was like 4 for 6
y'all,
for 3.
if y'all don't know exactly what he just said he goes off. Okay, I just want to make sure y'all know that he just said I goes off. I shoot. I'm gonna get the shots up, and a bunch of them is going in. Go ahead.
And it was just one of those situations, man, where it was kind of like, I guess, like my time type of thing, and from there, I pretty much turned into like option like 1A type of thing, like, so it was like the insertion of me being put in the starting lineup, and then it went from like, okay, now you're like the second option type shit. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of like was like super quick type of thing. And to the point where they drew up some plays and shit for me and everything. But my best season as far as just like wholeness and like personally was my senior year. We won the most games that year. It was 22-6 that year. It was a truly magical year, bro. We got a new coach that year. We got a new assistant coach that year, and he had played with Jared Jack and like all those guys in Georgia Tech. He played on the team that went to the ship and played UConn and lost to Mecca Okafor and what's my guy, Big Gordon, and all those guys. The waiver and all, you know what I'm saying? So he was a dog, you know what I mean? And he came and he just like, for one, he was a younger guy. He was 26 when he came. So he could relate to a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us came from like, obviously like inner city type shit. He was one of those situations where like he didn't live with his family, like he like actually moved with a family to play ball type of shit. So he had already relate to coming from not too much of anything, but having the drive and love for the game and whatnot. And he had us like, we met him and like it was like he introduced himself and was like, I'm gonna be on the track tomorrow at such and such time if y'all want to come. And that was pretty much it. And so like the next day, bro, like the entire team was on the track, bro, like the entire team. And it was like voluntary, like you didn't have to come type shit. Like we did that shit like 2 or 3 days and like the whole team was coming. So we said, fuck it. And we switched that shit to mandatory. Like we had to come to that shit.
Yeah.
Like the summertime, bro, like that was the most we had done ever in the summer. We was literally, bro, like every day it was track, weight room, open gym, that order. Every single day, bro. We would get a break after the track in the weight room. He would shoot the Wendy's for us. You feel me? Get us some little dollar burgers and shit like that. Eat a little something, and then we would get on the court for about 2 hours. But all of that shit, bro, all of that work and shit that we put in that year, bro, all of that shit just like it bled into the season, bro. Like we came in, we started off pretty good. We went 22-6, like I said. We went on a 12-game win streak in the middle of the season. Won 2 Christmas tournaments during that 12-game win streak. I was all the team on both of those Western Jiggins or whatnot. We got slighted. We felt like there's something here that's big. Well, it was big back then. It was called King of the Bluegrass. Basically, like city teams and like just like teams from like Kentucky, so like the country teams and whatnot. And you'll get a couple of teams that'll come from like out the state. Usually those teams it'll be a team that has a player that's probably coming to Louisville type shit. Like I think Peyton Cedar might have played in King of Bluegrass type shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll invite that team. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I said, at that time, bro, of the selection for the King of the Bluegrass, bro, like we were on a 12-game win streak, and we didn't get selected. And it was like I said, it was like one of the biggest tournaments, bro, because it was downtown in the Garden. Yeah, I mean it's closed down now, but we actually had something called the Gardens downtown, and it was like it gave you that Madison Square. It was downtown, you feel me? And like school buses pulled up. It wasn't like they could like park on the street. They had to like drop you off at the door. You feel me? It's a whole bunch of cars and shit going by. It's crazy traffic, all of that type of shit, bro. And it's just an atmosphere, bro. You go in there and it's like it's an arena style, bro. It's like seats all around you. And like I say, it's like it's one of those styles where it's like there's games being played all day. It's a tournament situation. You know what I'm saying? you got fans that's just in there. They might not even be there for you at school, but they just in there and watching and whatnot, bro. It's an awesome opportunity to be seen by scouts and everything like that as well. You know what I'm saying? And we got on all of that shit, bro. And then we felt slighted about a lot of that shit, bro. But like I said, senior season, bro, I ended up averaging. It was me and Davon, which is hopefully you get to get Davon on here as well.
Looking for him.
Me and Dave was 1 and 2 in the region in scoring, and the 7th region is the toughest region. Well, back then it was. I don't know what it is now. I heard that maybe like the 11th region, but back then it was like 7th and then 11th region. 7th region had Wagner, it had Male, Manual, Eastern, J-Town, St. X, Trinity. Like, yeah, it had everybody in it, bro. So we were 1 and 2 in the region in scoring. He was like, I got all state honorable mentions. I was second from all district, all region, like basically like racked up accolades. You know what I mean?
You got all the stats that I wrote down. Everything I wrote down, he's got it too.
Yeah, bro. So it was, it was one of those things where everything just kind of it clicked at the right moment. Yeah.
So was that the year, or what? So would you say like junior or senior year? Which one of those times, I guess, is when you knew you were like better than everybody that you were around for the most part, and that you could like take it to another level? You know, like you could play that level. You know, that college level.
Honestly, once I stopped, I always had, like I said, confidence and whatnot. But like I said, I've always been I don't know if it's a realist, but I've always been a person where if I walk in the gym and I know there's nice niggas in here, obviously I'm gonna believe I'm cream of the crop. But you know what I'm saying? If I see a guy here that's doing more than I know that I can do, like I'm not gonna sit up here. I'm not gonna cap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I came into high school, I knew like these guys are seasoned. Yeah, I mean, they were like noticeably bigger, noticeably faster, noticeably quicker, bro. You know what I'm saying? Noticeably had a better skill set type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was more so like I always had the confidence, but I would say probably summer going into my junior year is when it was really starting to hit me. Like I said, I got a couple of years under my belt, and things really started to like slow down for me. I started to realize shit about like who you're gonna be playing against each year, the same guys for the most part, and like just coming like more of a student of the game, becoming more cerebral, learning guys' games. I would actually start to like watch guys play, see what they do, what they could do, what they couldn't do, type of things. So probably going into my junior year, and then like I said, being able to take that starting spot and then not relinquish that starting spot to anybody.
And your senior year, you may feel slighted, but they did have a ranking for you. You know what it was?
What was that?
They had you in the top 50 in Kentucky, in the state.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I might need to even see that. I mean, I got like a box of like some memorabilia and shit. Like not really as much as anything, but like, I mean, because since then I've like had to like move and shit, and like I've been in some situations that, you know, but you know what I'm saying, like there's some things where I haven't been able to hold on to everything that I once had. My brother had a scrapbook sort of like poster board type of thing going on with like newspaper clippings, like excerpts of things that I've said where like they would put in the newspaper.
That's tough.
Box scores and shit like that with my name highlighted and things like that. My boy, you go get my boy on there too, my nigga Tiz.
Yeah.
And like we stayed riding the tarts and shit together, you know what I'm saying? Like to get back and forth to school. You know, to get back and forth like prices like that, catch the tark or whatnot. And it was crazy, bro. Like, in fact, let me give you a little story.
Yeah, so
we're gonna reverse back to junior year. We played St. X at St. X. My head coach, my junior year, that was my first year having him as a head coach. He graduated from St. X, so he really wanted to beat these guys. You know what I mean? We played St. X at St. X, bro, and we back and forth the entire game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, obviously, everybody expects St. X to beat us with Wagner, whatever. We might have all the time in the world, but with Wagner, They gonna they're gonna figure out a way to fuck it up. They'll be there at the end of the game and fuck it up. I'm gonna get there in a second.
Yeah.
Everything is, like I said, we're going back and forth. And we get to a point late in the game, bro. This is literally seconds left on the clock. I'm talking like 5-6 seconds left on the clock, bro. This is like
less than 10.
Called. We go to the huddle, and like literally the coach is like, all right, so this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Davon's going to get a steal. We're going to call a timeout and blah, blah. So we do like literally it happens like that, bro. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think they tried to inbound the ball or something. I think they got a steal. I think it was a situation where we might not even had a timeout. It was just like, once the steal happens from the sideline, this is what we're going to do. And it happened like literally like that, bro. And like on the offensive possession that we had, bro, he had like broke his defender down, and I was like streaking like in stride, bro. He hits me like in stride, bro. 1-2 step I'm talking about, bro. There's nobody within like 4 feet anywhere, bro. This is a crip. This is a crip, bro.
Yeah.
Tie game, I tricked that bitch. Like that bitch rolled off as the horn sound, bro. I'm standing out of bounds, looking through the backboard, watching that motherfucker fall. Like, tough, you feel me?
That is.
We go on overtime, we lose in overtime. So fast forward to my senior year, we get in for my senior night, and I ain't gonna say I was a little rattled, bro, just because of like what had happened before. Like I wanted to revenge myself, but it was a lot of pressure I was putting on myself because I wanted to make sure we wasn't in that position, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, and it was senior night, so I'm not gonna sit. I was a little emotional. I'm like, bro, this shit's really coming to an end, and that year had been so filling, bro. So like I wasn't playing well the first half. I ended up finishing with 18 or whatnot, and we got the dub. So we walking in the gym, bro. Like the next morning we had a Saturday practice, bro. We played on that Friday night. We had a Saturday practice. So we walked in the gym, bro. It's all the little kids and stuff in there because the St. Matthews League, they had the gyms, you know what I'm saying? So we just coming in there and whatnot, about to go to the locker room. It's like me, my nigga Tez, and like maybe like my nigga J Curb, A-Wall, you know, maybe my nigga Lil Los or some shit like that. We always coming from the West or whatnot. We coming in and like it was an OG white guy that stayed across the street from Wagner, bro. He would come to all of our games, no matter we was getting hit by the undone, whatever, bro. He was at every game, bro. And like he like whistled me over type shit, nothing like disrespectful, but just, you know, he's an OG boy. It wasn't like he could be like, hey. He was just like, you know, when I came over, this is like the original joint that like that the guy gave me, bro. Like it's like me on the front cover of the sports page, bro. This is fucking February 16th, 2008. You feel me? It says Wagner edges St. X for landmark victory. St. X Will Brooks could only get out of the way as Jesstin Devoe drives for a basket early in the fourth quarter. Devoe is one of the 5 seniors playing the final home game at Wagner. He led them with 18 points. So this is this is big, bro. This was big, bro.
That was a moment,
I don't even think like my peoples had seen this yet, bro. Like my father was big on the newspapers and stuff. I got that from my pops as well. Like I like to read the paper. And like he hadn't even seen it yet or anything like that. Like I ended up hitting them up like, yo, have y'all seen the sports page type shit? And they were like, and then like when they got it, it was just like, it was crazy, bro. Like
it's a moment.
Yeah, like I mean, because I had been in the paper like honestly, bro, since like freshman year, like, you know, freshman stuff. Like I had scored type shit, so I had been in box scores and shit like that. But to be like literally like, bro, this is like the front page of the sports, bro. It's like when you get the sports page, like this is the front page before you can. This is the first thing you're gonna see on that motherfucker, bro.
It's a hard,
It's an action shot, bro. It's me getting a bucket. You feel me? Like it's crazy, bro. Like I
it's a hard shot too.
Or anything, bro. No facial hair. This is.
You still braided though, ain't you?
Say it again.
You was still braided though, wasn't you?
Yeah, this was I had some braids this night. But I cut that shit off, and now I'm dreaded up a little bit. But bro, this was like literally like he gave me this paper, and like this is that paper that man gave me, like to this day. Like shout
out him, man. Shout out him. Like if he finds his way into finding a way to listen to this, he deserves his love too for that. Cause
Yeah, bro.
I mean, shit. Like he said, he gave it to you before your people even seen it. Like,
yeah, bro. Like he was like he just handed it to me. I'm just like kind of like, okay, what's up, you know? And I looks at it, I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like my niggas kind of like was like ecstatic about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
that is.
So, you know, so it was a big moment, bro, for sure.
Respect, man. And one more step, bro. Did you also know that you were in the top 35 in field goal percentage that year?
That I knew. I didn't know where I stood, but I knew that I think I shot over 50% from the
Yeah.
field. So
Yeah.
I knew that I like, you know, did my thing. And then that's the efficiency part. It's like, it's not like a boasting thing or anything like that. It's just something I've always prided myself. I don't like to miss. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I just try to put the ball in the cup. You understand what I'm saying? And that's honestly been like what I do. You know, I'm a scorer. So
57%.
57% is tough, bro.
It's tough.
I'm not
It's
gonna
almost...
stunt. Javon was he drew a lot of attention. We had a lot of nice plays. I had a few backdoor plays that made that percentage easy.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, I'm definitely not gonna give all of that credit to backdoor plays or another guy on my team attracting attention, because once, you know, teams start to see, okay, this guy's averaging 18, he's shooting this from the field, like I'm getting attention as well. Like we played against a few teams that triangled and two'd us type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I had been in some games, bro, where they was like boxing one and him, you know what I'm saying? But never been in a game where they was like triangling and two, like, bro, like it was like some weird to see type shit, bro. So
it coming with a new strategy for him.
That's crazy, bro. That because like going forward, but like I didn't have offers coming out of school. You know what I'm saying? Like I had opportunities to like going into my junior year, like going into my junior and going into my senior year, like I had opportunities to go to like camps, like those 5-star camps, the blue chip camps, and stuff like that. But they were like expensive as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like 300 and 350, and like I mean I ain't hit it. No sob story. I mean, shit, we ain't have it. Yeah, I mean, so I couldn't go type shit. But so you know, I would miss out on shit like that, and who knows? I probably might have had an opportunity had I been able to go to one of those camps and have a coach be able to see me then, and then see that, oh, he's averaging 18, he's shooting 57% from it. He's a two guard. Like, what two guard do you know shoots that high from the field, bro? Like, you know. So, and I hit a nice amount of threes that year too. I don't know if any of that shit's listed, like the amount of threes or my 3-point percentage or anything like that. But
I didn't find that. I ain't find that the percentage on it, but I did see that since he was in that top 35, they listed that for sure. You talked about you didn't have no real like offers, nothing like that. Did you do any visits? Did you do anything like? Let's talk about the like post high school now.
Post high school, bro. Spalding really wanted me coming out. Like they was in talks to my pops a lot. Coach Gray, he talked to my pops a lot. But Spalding, I think, was D3 or something like that. I think it was D3, and to my knowledge, I don't think D3 gave like scholarships and shit like that. I don't think
they offered that money,
financial aid and stuff. Which back then, bro, to be completely honest, I just didn't know anything about it, bro. Like I didn't have any family members that really went through clearinghouses or eligibilities or anything like that, bro. So like I said, my uncle, but he was in like Philly at the time. You understand what I'm saying? So like he was here, but it was just like I feel like it was like a different process and whatnot. So for me, it was like, I'm not making any excuses or anything, but I just didn't know too much of anything. Like if in hindsight, I probably would have taken the Spalding and or maybe even like tried to go the JUCO route and shit like that. But Spalding really wanted me, but I didn't fuck with it because I feared the like financial aspect. You know what I'm saying? And then I did a workout for a school in, I can't even remember the name of the school. I want to say it was Lincoln something. It might have been, it was somewhere in Illinois, but they came down the wagon and they worked out me, Day, another guy on my team named Don Vladdy, my nigga Don Juan, and another guy that went to another school. And they gave me some shit like they wanted me to have more experience as a lead guard. Like they wanted me to have more experience as, you know, I was off ball. Like, you know, I played off ball like my entire career at Wagner. Outside of like freshman and sophomore year, I moved to off ball type shit. And yeah, it was one of those things where they was just like, yeah, we would, you know, prefer you to be, you know, have more experience as a lead guard. That's what we need, X, Y, and Z. And I'm just kind of like, well, I'm a fast learner. I'm a hooper, but like I can do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like X, Y, and Z. They just gave me a bunch of bullshit, so that shit didn't work out. But I ended up going to K-State, and I was at K-State running track, and I was trying to focus with the squad as well. Freshman year, it was weird. My assistant coach from Wagner ended up going to K-State as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you would think so.
Yeah.
But once, I mean, he didn't have too. I mean, he was fresh as well. Like my freshman year was his first year type shit. So he didn't have too much pull or whatnot. But you would think, you know, there would be some type of little
connection, like
assist or some shit. But like that shit didn't really work out. I actually was focusing on track a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Once I left high school, because I was once basketball ended, I started running track at Wagner and shit too. I ended up being like all state in like track as well, like half a semester. That was literally my only time running track, like half a semester, and I had like all state and shit. So I'm like, you know, bet. So I was down there doing that shit as well, and I started playing intramurals up there at K-State, and that's when it kind of came back for me. But like after my freshman year, I had to take a year and a half off from school. Like shit got ugly at the crib. So I had to take a year and a half off from school, and I think that's around the time when I met y'all. Actually, like my second semester, that year I went back to K-State for that spring semester. I think I met y'all by that time. So when I went back, it was another attempt to hoop, but like I said, I came in the spring semester with the intent on trying to like fuck with them niggas during that time, and then and whatnot. But low key, kind of the same shit happened. Like I played intramural or whatnot, and that's when I think my name started to get out there a little bit more, because when I was playing intramural, that we ended up going through, we like ran through pretty much everybody on campus. I was having like games where I had a game where we played against the CAF, and like I had hit like 7 threes in like the first half, bro. Like I had like fucking 24 in like the first half, bro. Like on some like crazy shit, bro. Finished that game with like 36, but like we like ran through everybody type shit. But after that year, you know what I'm saying, I took some time off again, like to like come back to the crib, work type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom's isn't like in the best health type shit, you know what I'm saying? So we have to like come home and like do some shit to just give her that type of, you know, that help or whatnot. And then from there, shit, I kind of lucked up, and that's kind of like where me and you kind of like started to gain that traction that we had. It was okay, because you started talking about it earlier, and now I'm starting to gear up a little bit. So this squad may go a little longer than the other ones. When I first heard about you, it was one of those I took it personal moments, because all they were saying was that
Last Dance,
the guy had came, your pops had came, and he had preached and whatnot, and they was telling us like our preacher had left, and your daddy had came or whatnot to like kind of like interview type thing.
Interviews,
you know what I'm saying? So we was like, you know, and they was kind of like giving us like backstories on y'all as well, like when y'all wasn't there type of shit. So like I think the other guy, he was older than your pops, and he was like, it was just him and his wife. It wasn't like no kids or anything that was coming type of shit. Then they started talking about y'all, and they was like, oh, he has a son that plays at Lipscomb and shit. I'm like, yeah, that's a bet. You know what I'm saying? Like at the church, it's like myself, bro. To be completely honest, it was myself and a guy named Eugene. And it was an older guy, one of my OGs named Jeff, but by the time y'all came, he wasn't in the church no more. But what's brought was mans, you know what I mean? And at that point, it was really like, it was easy, bro. Like there was no
competition.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I bet, let's get Buddy down here and whatnot. And plus, I mean, you know, the church actually like liked your pops as well. So it was like, yeah, that's something, that's what's up. And then like once you came, before you came, they was like on me, bro. Like, oh, so the Macon boy is gonna be here, X, Y, and Z. And they like
that
had
ain't
this
dope.
picture of you, bro, like in the foyer, I think that's what you would call it.
Oh yeah.
And it was a picture of you like cutting nets down. I guess y'all won like y'all conference or something, or some shit like that. Like, and you was like on the ladder cutting nets down or some shit. I'm just like, what's going on here? But you know what I'm saying? And they kept telling me like, they said Mate got a you get like a 40-inch vertical. Everybody was telling me like how you could jump and shit. I'm just like, bro, all right, what you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. So like when you did start to come around and shit, and we did start to hoop and shit, like it was always like a competitive thing. You know what I'm saying? It was always like a nah, I gotta, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta show. This is
like at the end of the day, like this is my city, this is my church. You know, it was that type of thing, bro. But like, so like we was always cool and shit, and we was always hooping and shit. But the OVU opportunity is what really got us to like where we are now.
We're close,
like, it was like I said, we was always tight and shit, but like once we like left and we went to OVU, I think really
I'm gonna say
we were working out a lot going into OVU.
Yeah, let me tell them what it is, the situation. So basically what he's talking about is well, I will run it back just a half second. Out of high school, for me, OVU they did contact my dad and they talked to him or whatever, but Lipscomb was also like a chance. So I was like, shoot, I'm gonna pick D1 over D2 no matter what. So I went to Lipscomb, did my time there, got off the team after my first year, spent a little break or whatever, and got my grades together. And my dad contacted OVU again. When he contacted OVU was like, man, yeah, because, well, we know how OVU is now. But back then, they was like, you know, we didn't know. They was just like, yeah, for sure. And I don't know, bro. We had been hooping by that time already quite a bit. I feel like, at least that summer, we had hooped quite a bit. Yeah. So I think I told you first, like, yeah, man, like, I'll put in a word for you at this school I'm trying to talk to or whatever. And you was like, shit, yeah, why not, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, cool. And my dad told him, like, yeah, there's another guy here too. And they was like, well, sure, bring him for the...
That's literally how it went. It was like, bring him for like his visit. It was his visit. And they were like, bring him. And I'm like, bet. So I like told my people. And like, so like our families, like we rode down, you know what I'm saying, rode up to West fucking Virginia, bro. OVU, Ohio Valley University. It's Division II school. It's in West Virginia. I wouldn't recommend West Virginia to anyone.
Parkersburg,
Vienna. It's literally like you can like step on one side of the sidewalk and you're in this city. You can walk across the street and you're in a different city. One of those types of situations.
And then cross the bridge and you're in Ohio.
Exactly. So yeah, it was like this little it was fucked up there. But I think, bro, from like the day that we went up there and like bust them niggas ass, I think it was that moment, bro. Because like I said, we was close, we was hooping during that summer. We was at Arcade, we was out at the Y, like faithfully every morning and all that type shit, bro. But it was like we went up there, like we was busting ass like here, but it was like we had went there and it was like legit, like guys that was like on the team. It was like a couple like it was like 7-footers and shit like that, bro. And like we went up there, bro, and like really like and it was like a couple of other guys that was there on the same reason we was there, like to see what's up and try out type shit. And we just went up there and like handled business, bro. Like, it was real deal. Like it was one of them situations, bro, where like I mean I was on like smacking, getting to the cup. Yeah. Buzz was on like with the handle and the dish, and then he rose on my nigga from he rose on the 7-footer, bro. Yeah. When he rose on the 7-footer, was that like baseline, bro? Like
it was like a back door,
like that.
It was a back door that you passed me the ball to. It was a back door.
He like just caught it in like.
Yeah, shout out Big
on the
John.
7-footer, and like at that point, it was just like, yeah, bro. Like I'm not hooping no more for real. I'm ready to turn my shit down. You feel me? I'm ready to take my shit down to like the smooth like 40 at this point, bro. It's in the bag, bro. Like it has to be. Bro. And it was from there. But OVU was probably like when we became like as close as we become, just off the back of living together and all the shit that we endured at that motherfucker was.
So I talked to some other guys about it. Do you remember any of those first hoop sessions at OVU? Like, not the visit, but like once we actually got there, like
the very first ones. To be completely honest, I remember. This is gonna sound wild, but I remember when we walked into one of them hoop sessions. I think was the first day we got there. Yeah. And we were like moving in and shit. We got to the hoop session like stupid late, and we could play we could play I think we played like 1 or 2 games. I really think it was like one. I think we ended up going to like beat ups after type shit.
Yeah.
I hit my first shot on AP. I know you already interviewed Pizzle, but this is no cap. I hit my first shot. It was a tray on Pizzle, and I felt good about it because I didn't know anybody on the team. But Pizzle gave me that look that I thought Pizzle was, you know what I'm saying, like who they were like building their team around. It's like no knock on my nigga Pizzle to say like he wasn't. It was just I thought that he was a centerpiece. Like I mean, Pizzle was 6'2", 6'3", nice body, pause, athletic guy. You know what I'm saying. So like my senior, you know what I'm saying, when I, you know, it was just like it might have been like a pull up or just like off the catch and shoot, but I remember it being on Pizzle or whatnot. But the ones to follow like immediately after, not too much. Yeah. I do remember a little bit of them. I remember them being like super thick because when we first got there, like
it was so many
27 niggas that was on the team.
Oh my gosh.
Like crazy. So
too many people. It was so many people. A lot of them dudes you only saw that first week of school.
Like, oh yeah. That was funny too. It was like we would go to a hoop session like 2 days in a row and then see these guys, and then come like Saturday, and then they would be like, "Oh yeah, he moved out last night."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's talk about you played. Okay, so you were there for those 2 years.
Yeah.
Who do you think were like some of the toughest people like we played? Like in those, a lot of those times it was just inter squad scrimmages and stuff. Who do you think were some of the tougher like competitive people we played against there? Because we seen a lot of people throughout the 2 years.
Yeah. Maybe obvious. You know, Ashton was a dog.
Yeah.
Like I can't stunt. Ashton was a dog, bro. He was. I remember like he would like upload little like videos like on his Facebook page and shit of him like going to the gym like super early in like New York before we like went to school and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, he would like be doing some shit, but it was like really basic. It was like he would just like shoot around or like, you know, in a cage or go through and dunk, and I'm just like, okay, like you can dunk, okay, you know, whatever. But when I seen dude in person, like it was even more so. I was just kind of like, that nigga really don't look like he could go like that. You feel me? Like he was like he was a little shorter, and then he wasn't like the heaviest or anything like that. Like he was strong, but he wasn't like, you know, like no B Diddy
big,
like that, you know. But like when I seen that nigga hoop and like turn on, that nigga was a dog. I mean,
the level.
He would. I mean, like I don't even really like to do that type shit, bro. Because you feel me, like you feel me, like I don't be like feel like I'm on the niggas meeting them. But
no.
I could tell he was a different nigga, bro. I'm talking about right, left, step back right, step back left, side step right, side step left, handle. Yeah. I mean, the nigga would get hot instantly. He would walk into practice hot, bro. Like smart shots. I mean, he would get to points, you know what I'm saying, where he would, you know, maybe like get them off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like for the most part, bro, smart shots, efficient. I mean, explosive, bro. To be, you two niggas, bro, were probably the only two people, bro, that I've ever seen be like of shorter stature, bro, that really were like explosive. I've seen people be like explosive, like first step explosive fast. I mean, like getting off the ground. No, bro. And I mean, Ashton had that shit like off of one leg. Like, he was like, you know, I'm like, bro, when I seen dude, I was like, yeah, bro, like he different, bro. And then like I kind of like heard about his background. Like he came from a D2 that he came from a D2 that played against another D2 that I was trying to get into. But the coach from that D2 was interested, but he wanted to see like film of me type shit that I didn't have. So like, he went to a school called like Texas A&M at Kingston or Kingsbury or some shit like that.
Kingsville, something like that.
Some shit like that. But yeah, Ashton was he was a dog, man. He was a dog. My nigga Chris Baker, I fucked my nigga Chris Baker. He was a dog. He was another one of those little shorter guys, but he was the stocky, but he was
shifty.
He was a bucket, bro. He was a bucket. He was a dog defensively, IQ. Yeah, I fucked with Chris Baker's game. Obviously, we don't have to say you.
We competitive, bro.
TP, I fucked with TP's game. He was the epitome of Detroit to me, bro. I've never been to Detroit, you feel me? But from everything I hear about Detroit, from what I've seen about Detroit, that nigga was like 1,000% Detroit, and I loved it, bro, because there was never any back down, bro. And it was just like this like supreme confidence, bro. Like he was just like I fuck with T Brad. I fuck with the foreigners too. I like David. I like Sinicus. I hope I'm saying that right. But Trigger Dave, he would get in them streaks. He was always milky, but he would get in them streaks where he would like not miss shots for like months. It felt like, you feel me? Like he would just like not miss his shots, bro. Like, and they played so differently. Him, Oz, I loved Oz. I didn't love Oz's game, but Oz as a person and everything, I fucked with Oz too. He was a 6'7", super springy, sniper. You feel me? Like, and I wanted Oz to have a better pack. Offensively, I feel like if he would have had like a better pack, he would have been so nasty. But I liked Oz's game.
You ain't blocking that shot. It was way too high up there.
No, he's 6'7", and he had that joint up there. Like he was one of them dudes too. He was just like David. Like once he got hot, like I mean, like he would take bad shots, and they would just start to just like wouldn't touch anything. It would just like
And he's good off them screens. Like they just knew how to. Bro, number one with Ashton, bro, when he used to get with the foreigners.
They wouldn't lose games, bro, and I ain't gonna stunt, bro. I would, we would squad up, and we would get a couple of them in off of them niggas, bro. But when it would be him, Oz, David, and Poe, and if he was to get Toos as well, they probably wasn't gonna lose, bro. Like they just had some type of synergy, bro. Like the foreigners played differently. They played a European style of basketball. Like that was the first time I've ever witnessed it, like in person.
And those are frustrating open gyms sometimes.
Them, like I said, second year I really liked Saquon's game.
Yeah,
he was like long as shit, and he was just like an offensive nigga, bro. Like you could just tell he was like a bucket getter, bro. Like and he fucked me up because when he first came, like he wasn't hitting that jumper, so I'm like, all right, bet, got this nigga figured out. But he was kind of like a streaky nigga, you feel me? Like when he would get hot sometimes, that motherfucker would, he kind of had like a shot, and that joint like would like rain in that motherfucker, bro. Like he could turn that motherfucker on, bro. Yeah, that was probably the extent of the niggas who,
It's tough like that. Yeah, I get you. All right, so we'll try to start wrapping this up for you now. I know you a different type of nigga though, because I guess I'm a music lover type thing or whatever. So like I asked what was the music you would play to get yourself on mode. But I know you, bro. Like you said, we lived together, bro, for a span. So what type of music or videos would you turn on to get yourself on mode, like, whenever it was time to hoop? Like, what was your thing?
I've always been a big KD fan. I've always been a big Dame fan. I've always been a big Russell fan. I've always been a big Derrick Rose fan. At the time, Derrick Rose was hurt, but he had these Adidas videos that was coming out, bro. These little episodes that were like 10, 12 minutes long, bro. And it was just like documenting like his get back and like, you know, little shit like that.
Yeah.
For some reason, bro, that was like just like getting me going, bro. Like it was just like so like focus driven. You feel me? Like, and it helped me tap in. But like that was also the time when Dame's pre-workout tape came out. His pre-workout, his little draft tape, and I stayed watching that shit, bro. I stayed watching that shit because like whoever that dude was that was like putting him through that shit was like trying to kill that nigga, bro. Like, he was trying to kill dude, and he like bodied that workout, bro. Like he bodied that shit, bro. Like that's when I knew Dame was like nasty, bro. Like, but when it came to like music and shit, bro, I'm different, bro, when it comes to the music, bro. Like, I like to go back and forth. But, like, I like to listen to, like, some slow shit, bro. Like, some chill shit, bro. You know, some that just kind of helps slow everything down. I'm a person, bro, for some reason, bro, I get nervous anytime I play. Whether it's open gym or anything, bro. I get nerves, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just always want to perform. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a league game, if I'm playing for bread, if I'm playing to get some exercise, like I want to perform, you know what I'm saying? So I get these nerves and shit, bro. So like if I listen to like some like slow shit, like, I can't give you like an actual artist or anything like that, like but like it'll just be like some smooth shit, some vibe shit. Here lately it's been Deep Sleep. The Wiz joint is, you know, a vibe for me. But that would be like some shit that I would gravitate to for sure. With the beats on, I definitely had to keep the beats on.
For sure. As you should. You listen to him, he want a deal.
I needed that.
So, all right, man. Last couple questions then. I'll say my intro to this is like this. Michael Jordan said it best that like basketball is like a teacher of life. If you ever heard that quote. So like, what do you think the game has like taught you about yourself? Like, as far as, you know, what you learned about you, like, you know, what you learned about you through the game, just through your journey.
I think that it's taught me a lot, man, for real. But I think one of the things more so that it kind of really told me, that might sound cliche, is that you can kind of like really do anything that you put your mind to, type of thing, like mental toughness type of thing. Basketball has always been an outlet for me, but basketball has always challenged me as well. Mentally, it's challenged me, you know, emotionally and physically as well. You feel me? And it's been a lot of times where I may have felt like I couldn't do some shit, or maybe that I had like plateaued or something. You feel me? Like, this is like the extent of what I can do, type of thing. Yeah. And then like really like tap in to like a process and like be able to like witness growth in myself. You know what I'm saying? Just basic shit from like weightlifting and shit like that, bro. Like it was things. It was times where like like you said, like I didn't fuck with the weights, bro. It was just something I just didn't care for. Didn't feel like it would really help me. But I was also like not mentally tough to like do that type of shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Any sign of struggle, it was just like, nah, bro. Like, I'm good on that type shit, bro. And like it really just kind of helped me like I said, build that mental toughness and like low key like learn to like, although I don't like processes, but like trust the process. I've seen, you know, like journeys start off and look one way and then like even like you tell me like all the time, like not all the time, but you tell me like you remind me like of how like when you came here, like how it was like, yeah, you could shoot, you could score one time, like well you could score, but it was like you didn't have like the best handle type shit. You always tell me like your handles come like a long way type shit.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
I ain't gonna tell like at one point in time, bro, like I kind of feel like that's it. That's all I need type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I ran into you and it was like, okay, that's a little difficult to guard. He can do this. He can, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. So like being able to like trust that process of like just different shit that we worked on and like seeing my handle, like seeing like my left hand become better. Now I fully trust my left hand. You know, just different shit like that, bro. And you can transfer like those small victories into, you know, something bigger. You know what I mean? Like that small victory can like be that seed that lets you know, bro, that you can, you know, like accomplish something. You can, like, you know, get through whatever it is that you're going through, or you know, face whatever it is that you're going through, type of thing. So, I would say more so, it's done a lot for me mentally than anything. So,
Respect, man. Yeah, man. I mean, like I say, man, when I think the first time I heard that quote, basketball is a teacher of life, bro, I was probably like, hell, I had to be like 10, 11, you know, somewhere around there where it actually got in my head and stuck. And ever since then, I would think that, like, if is there something that I've learned while I was doing this practice, or some I've learned during this season or whatever, that I can translate into just regular everyday life, that type of thing. And it was always something, man, whether it was something mentally, something physically, you know, I learned about my body that I need to take more care of, whatever it is, man. Like, so I definitely feel that, man. Okay, so I guess last two before we get out of here, bro. Did you make any efforts to play what's the name didn't work out? K-State didn't work out. OVU, we had our time there. West Virginia, we wouldn't recommend it to nobody. So, did you any efforts after that, bro?
there was one or two, nothing really serious. One of them was actually another school in West Virginia. It wasn't West Virginia State. Was West Virginia State a team that y'all played?
We played them early. We played them like my first year with Ashton and them.
Yeah, I feel like it might have been them. I was talking to a coach from over there. I don't know if you remember, we was in the gym one night and it was like you and me, we were like kind of like working out a little bit, and like I had Shorty in there and she was like recording that. Like that was like that type of shit. Like you had actually helped me, like you threw me a couple lobs and shit like that.
Yeah. I remember
like that type of that film and shit was being sent to him and shit like that. But it was just one of those situations where it was like, one of the things that really hindered me is like the like academic side of it, bro. Like once I transferred from K-State, by me coming from K-State to OVU being a Christian school, some of my shit didn't come through type shit. So it was like I had to like low key like backpedal, like like 15 hours type shit. Like when I came back my second year type shit, like my first semester, like it was like 18 hours of classes type shit. Like, you know, like it was like that type of shit that like hindered me. And I'm like, shit like that I probably could have went harder on. I should have went harder on type shit. But it was, at times it was just, it would be like just legit overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like they have so many classes, bro. Like legit be getting out of a fucking lecture while y'all are coming in from practice at fucking 7 type shit. Like, and I don't get the practice at this point, bro. And it was just, you know, like, so that type of thing I just kind of feel like hindered me. And there was another school that was in Florida, down in like the Broward County area that I was looking at as well. But that would have just required the situation that I was in to, it was just, you know, it was, after that though, it was just pretty much like I kind of just, you know, was like, I hooped in a couple leagues around the city. Griff League and shit like that. But nothing, no real life like pursuits to like, you know.
Got you. Well, got you, bro. All right, man. So This is how I end all my interviews, bro. This is the final question. You on the island with your defender, 1-on-1. What's your go-to?
I never let a nigga know that.
He said, don't nobody gonna know what the go-to move is. He said, and if you could guess, like I might guess, you feel me? I'm gonna change it up right then anyway. So,
and so, but yeah, I can't let y'all in on that, man. You fuck around and somebody sees this, next thing you know, I'm in a high stakes game and done tapped into the pod and now you're out,
that's how you're getting clamped.
You feel me? Now I gotta tap into my D book and shit.
Well, cool, bro. Hey, I'll let you leave it at that. But yeah, man. West End Shout, Jess, I appreciate you, bro. Spending this time talking, reliving your journey a little bit. Like I said, like I tell everybody, it's gonna come out in these upcoming weeks. I want everybody to check it out. I want y'all to, support my man's in whatever endeavors you see him coming with in the future. Whenever, he's going to be, just be on the lookout, all right? Just be on the lookout. That's what I'm going to tell y'all, all right? All right, man. Shao, like I said, I appreciate you, bro, and you're going to love this episode when it drops.
My God.
Yes, sir.